Well, it is a Monday morning.
That it is.
It is. We're live from Fly on the Wall Productions. Did you have a good Easter?
I had a great Easter. Yes, I did.
Good.
I did.
Happy Easter, everyone.
Happy Easter, everyone.
We should say that Dick Wobby is on his way.
Yes, he is.
He'll be in just a little bit. Today is now the 10th
of April. Whew. Rolling right along.
God, it's like we've got taxes due here in a few days.
Don't remind me.
I still have my NCAA bracket hanging up behind me. Does this give you any idea of just?
I didn't get to that this morning. I was running around trying to do house cleaning before you got here, but I didn't get to your bracket behind you.
Are you surprised that it's still hanging on the wall behind me? My God.
No. I'm see the looks of your desk every day. I'm not surprised about anything anymore.
We're at 38 degrees right now. 38. Brilliant blue sunshine. And we're going to warm all the way up to 63 today, Raylene.
Did you see the sky last night? It was absolutely amazing.
I
last
did.
night, like for the, fourth night in a row, I think. It was absolutely incredible.
It was.
It really was.
And that planet, I don't know if it's Saturn or Jupiter. It's one of the two that's in the western sky that's down lower on the horizon. Whatever that planet is, it's like super close to us right now, so it's big and it's bright and it's magnificent. It is. It just is.
It is.
And I'll say this, that for a man, there is nothing more enjoyable than going out into your backyard under the stars. What?
For God's sake.
What are you saying? What?
We haven't even been live for 5 minutes, and you're already going to talk about going outside in your skibs or with nothing at all under the sky and gazing up at the stars. And
are you seeing the comments right now?
No, but I can only imagine. Everybody knows, Yes, and peeing.
I haven't
That's
even
right.
said anything. I'm just saying.
We all know. We've all heard this story many times.
Glenn understands. I'm saying for any man who's watching, listening right now, this is one of the most enjoyable experiences.
Is being able to pee outside.
To be able to go out in your backyard, look up at a sky full of stars, and relieve yourself. At the same time, I mean, it's really it's out of body, spiritual, in some ways.
Oh, for the love of all things!
Listen, all right, whatever.
The little things.
Just saying,
it's little things.
It's little things that matter.
I get it.
Like that.
I get it. Little things. Yes.
Tonight we've got partly cloudy skies and 41. Mm-hmm. Is the SAP still running? I think it is. I think these are SAP running.
I don't know. I thought that I know a lot of people that are done, but that doesn't mean that it's done everywhere. I know a lot of people are done.
And then tomorrow, Tuesday, mostly cloudy, chance of a rain shower, 64 degrees. Here we go, Raylene. Did you hear about the temperature Thursday?
Yes, 76, I think.
Yeah, and on Friday, 79.
Yeah. But did you hear about the temperature on Monday?
No.
41?
Yeah. This isn't this the time of year where there's got to be a meme for this somewhere where you just want to beat the shit out of Mother Nature. Why would you do this to us? Mm-hmm. We have been freezing our asses off for 7 months, and then you give us a relief, and then you come back on the backside and kick us in the nads? Mm-hmm. Why would you do that, Mother Nature? Why is she so mean? I don't like her.
She. Just saying.
Well, it's Mother Nature.
Yeah.
So
I'm just saying she.
Is she
That's
like?
Why.
Is she?
That's why.
Is she menopausing or something? What's going on?
It's possible.
I don't like it. Seriously.
We can sometimes have a roller coaster of attitude and emotions.
Yes, we can. Or yes, you can. Especially you. Anyway,
Whatever.
I just want to
Fuck
say,
off.
that yesterday being Easter, great experience, great weekend, Easter egg hunting. We went to the all-you-can-eat pie brunch over at the American
Yes,
Legion
I saw
that the Rotary Club did. Oh my God, it was amazing. It was so amazing. Do you want to know how many pies I had? Can you guess? Probably 15 different.
You did? Really?
Oh, my
15
God.
different ones?
The doubles on the shepherd's pie. Actually, I had quadruples, but 2 different shepherd's pie times 2, twice. Then I had banana cream, coconut cream. Eddie Roos was over there. He saw me putting it down.
He did.
Oh, God.
And he decided that if he ever knew that he was going to go against you in a pie eating competition, to just back out before he even started.
That he'd have his ass handed to him.
Yeah.
We had fun though. We got chatting, and yeah. So it was great. It was great, and the egg hunting that was going on at Berry City School was tremendous. Michael Booton was there, and
Yes, I saw he kind of ambushed you a little bit.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm pretty sure he ambushed you.
I have no idea what you're talking
Just
about.
Barrel-assed up on you with a camera and stuck it in your face and was like, hey, JD, what are you doing? What are you doing?
You know, Booton's, I'm going to get him back.
You are.
Oh, yeah. Of course I will. Yeah, I'll get him back. Yeah. I already have my...
You've already started plotting.
I'm plotting. I think I sent you a text a little bit about my plot. So,
Yeah.
Booton's going to get it. He's just, I'm going to have the last laugh here.
You're going to put glitter all over the desk, aren't you?
When I don't want to say anything about glitter because then that's getting downright, that's declaration of war.
Yes, it is. When it comes to Michael and glitter.
Lily and all of the hundreds of thousands of kids that were there. And I think Booton was shooting a drone, wasn't he? Didn't he have a drone in the air?
I'm not sure.
Lily just had the greatest time. It was just amazing. We saw all kinds of people that we haven't seen in a long time, and we had some good laughs. Dave Rouleau was there, the Berrytown Rec Department. Stephanie was there. Our new guy, Johnny, was there. He looked almost identical to the Easter Bunny. I'm not sure what that was about. But when they let those kids go, it was amazing.
It's over in seconds, too. Isn't it crazy how fast it goes?
I know. Doesn't it make you want to have all of these kids come to your house and say, all right, I'll give you a penny for every stick you pick up in the yard. Ready? Go.
Yeah. Yeah.
They had a great time. It was wonderful. And then the Faith Community Church did one at around 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday. It was just it was a great weekend. Lily got out on her dirt bike. But I have to say that being Easter weekend, I did at one point sit and say to myself, it was, I think 2 years ago, that we almost lost a little girl on Easter here in our community, and Maddie Bain. And Lily and I had a very nice talk about that, and
how well Maddie's doing.
Yeah, not only that, but we were just talking about the meaning behind Easter and what's most important. And it's not all about Easter bunnies and chocolate and eggs and all that stuff, but just to have this little girl and her parents almost losing her on Easter, and here we are. 2 years later. And I don't know why. I think on Easter, I think of little Maddie.
Yeah, well, why wouldn't you?
You know?
Yeah.
Just a great little girl. So anyway.
This is probably a pretty heavy conversation.
Well, well, it's about to lighten up because you're here, Dick Wobby.
No, I think we've missed the intent or the feeling of all of these holidays. I don't care if it's Easter. I don't care if it's
Christmas,
Thanksgiving. I don't care if it's Christmas or St. Patrick's Day.
I know.
I think we've missed what it was.
Sure.
Right? And it's turned into a big free for all on who can give this and what can you give and how can I get it and whatnot. When really it was a time to gather and reflect on all the good in life and what we're doing. And I know it's Christian, but the Easter whole thing was a rebirth, right?
Sure, of course it was.
That was kind of starting out.
The resurrection.
Yeah, starting over and getting a second chance, if we want to say.
I'm looking you both in the eye. I'm telling you right now, I'm not kidding you. Last night, when I was putting the Easter dinner away, I was thinking about what you just said, how Easter is the newness and renewal and starting over and the resurrection and all things new. I mean, we got the little baby chicks, we got the ducks, we got all that. And I was thinking, I swear to you, I was thinking, that is the segue into Dick Wobby and what's coming up with this job, this career fair. No, I'm not kidding you.
Starting over.
I was
starting
thinking,
over. That's exactly it.
I was thinking of eggs and yolk. Eggs and yolks.
Okay.
I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
I have no clue. I mean, I always thought it was funny, and I mean, it's kind of past its time, but because everybody expects it now. But you always carry a few dyed eggs with you, right? That aren't hard boiled.
Oh,
and you slide them into everybody else's Easter basket.
Yeah,
Dick Wobby, you're freaking sicko.
Isn't that funny though?
What the hell's the
it
matter
is.
with
It's
you?
very funny. JD would do such a thing.
Okay, you
have you done that? So you've done.
Oh yeah. When I go visit people and whatnot on Saturday or Sunday before Easter, I always have a few extra Easter eggs in my pocket.
not to sound.
It was a little more expensive this year, of course.
Oh. Not to sound old here, but did you know that they've got Easter grass now that smells?
Well, not
like
only
jelly
smells,
beans,
but it's edible. They got Easter grass that's edible now.
What's next? Are we going to be eating the basket too?
Know. I don't know.
Jeez.
No thanks.
Yeah, but it's edible. It's that's cool stuff.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I was listening to the radio the other day, which I don't know if everybody appreciates the radio as much as we used to.
No.
But
what is the radio?
That's okay.
I don't even know what the radio is.
That's okay.
Yeah.
But I was listening to it, and they were talking about there's a new fad to eat raw macaroni.
Oh.
Do you eat raw macaroni?
No, I didn't know that was. No, I haven't heard. Have you heard of this?
Yes, I've heard of it.
Really?
Yeah.
See?
Yuck.
Please explain.
I mean, there's not a lot of explaining here.
Right. Does people eat
you're
raw
crunching
macaroni?
on it? You're just crunching.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to pass. I'll say no to that.
I just didn't seem like something I would be into.
Wow.
I mean, it would seem like a dog biscuit.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, or worse.
Yeah. So
you look like $1 million, my friend. Look at you.
Thank you.
Come in here with the red
I'm
shirt
drinking
on.
my Huxley.
You're drinking some coffee.
Okay.
And you got your La Jeunesse hat on.
Yeah. Hey, I was up at La Jeunesse Friday. We do safety days. This springtime is the time you mentioned rebirth. We're looking at what the future holds.
Right.
And with contractors, the springtime is looking at what the future holds and trying to get that planning in place for what they're going to be doing. And anyway, I was up at La Jeunesse's on Friday doing planning day, safety day, and kind of let Mike was laying stuff out on the table. Here's what we're going to be doing. Here are the jobs coming up, and I was more or less hitting on the risk factors and stuff that could affect your long-term viability, and back and forth. And for some reason in the conversation, do you remember Zan Leone's ravioli shop? Mama Zan Leone used to have a ravioli shop right down here, right down the street, where the granite. No, see, you're too young. This is old school.
Oh, so glad I'm too young.
This is old school. The Zan Leone's had a ravioli shop right down here where the couch is. You know, the granite couch?
Yeah.
Right behind the granite couch, there was a big house. It was Zan Leone's, and they would make ravioli down there. And she would make, at Easter, the best hot cross buns you ever had in your life. I'm telling you, they were just, I think her name was Angel or Angelina. Mm-hmm. Zan Leone used to make the best hot cross buns you ever had in your life.
Tell me you've been over to the Rise Up Bakery.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Been inside?
Yes.
Isn't that cool?
But you know what we made this weekend?
What?
Oh, no. Jeez.
You're talking bakery?
Do you have a little horseradish on the deviled eggs there, Dick?
No. I'm not a big deviled egg guy.
No.
The
horseradish. God, I love it. Oh. Sherilyn wants me to sleep out in the barn after I've had it for like a week.
Yeah.
She'd rather you slept out in the barn anyway.
Well,
be honest.
Okay. So, look at that.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
What is that?
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Is that something?
That is something.
What is that?
Okay, that's a bunny. We made a bunny.
And what is
and frosted it.
Okay.
And whatnot. And then I made.
Oh.
Look at that.
Peeps.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's so cool, Dick.
They are bread nuts.
Yes.
Bread nuts.
What are the eyes, though?
Raisins.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll tell you, trying to get a raisin to go through a hole punch.
Pain in the ass. Yeah, I've tried
those
that so many
bread
times.
nuts that you just tweak the head and then use a fork on the other end, and you create a little birdie for Easter.
That's so cool.
Isn't that cute?
And you found this on Pinterest, right?
So talented.
No, Mrs. Wobby figured that
Mrs.
out. Okay. She said, Richard, here's what we're going to do. And I'll tell you.
And you said, okay, I'll help.
She is an angel. She is a great lady. She puts up with me, 50 weeks out of the year. And she requires.
You only give her a 2-week vacation?
No. She requires my full attention.
Sure.
A couple weekends every year.
Yeah.
And Easter is one of them because it is a big thing. It is a rebirth. It is a start over.
Sure.
Check mark, whatever you want to say. So we did baking on Saturday afternoon, and that was kind of it.
That's great.
I pulled myself away from the job fair, as you mentioned. We have Vermont's largest job fair. Going on at Champlain Valley Fairgrounds on April 20th.
Where the hell's
Just 10
Rachel
days
this morning?
away.
Where's Rachel?
Rachel is actually trying to pull this all together. Speaking of a rebirth, I think she would like a rebirth right now.
I'm sure.
This is
I'm
huge.
sure.
I'm just
We
saying,
have.
I mean, it's nice that you're here. I'm not disappointed or anything that it's just you, but looking at Rachel is, frankly, a lot better than
You're being very sexist.
looking
right
at
now.
you. No, I'm just being truthful.
Yeah.
I'd rather look at Rachel than look at you. That's all I'm saying.
There's a lot of people in
There's
life
nothing
that
negative
feel your
about
same
that.
way.
All right.
I'm feeling intimidated, and you are going to have to go through DEI training soon.
We can talk about feelings, of
Okay.
course. Yeah.
But if I was going to talk about feelings, and I was concerned about feelings, I would be hanging out down at Well Space with the Black Turtle Medicine folks and
On Wednesdays.
On Wednesdays, I'd probably be down there
for
Tai
Wellness
Chi
Wednesday.
and tea.
Yep, you should do that. It's absolutely free. It's
Very
every Wednesday.
calming.
It's every Wednesday, right over here on Summer Street.
Okay.
Yeah,
As you can see, it's helped JD greatly.
I mean, look at me.
But we've got a heck of a day planned on April 20th. We've got right in the range of 150 different employers looking for employees. We've got somewhere around 1,000, 1,100 potential employees coming through that have either registered out or committed in groups to come to look for work. And not just work, look for a career. And there's a whole different thing. And matter of fact, I was with the folks last week from Jenna's Promise Roasting Company. And
You see all the bags of coffee?
I see that.
Yeah.
And we were discussing the hurdles that some folks have to go through and the stressors of a job and how we can help people better acclimate to the workplace to create that career. So it's not just a quick one stop.
Right.
I'm there for 3 or 4 months. I burn out on this and then move on to something else.
Sure.
So we are putting those things in place. If you go to our website, VermontCareerFair.com or the AGC.org, AGCVT.org, either one of those, and you'll find some nice, helpful videos and different things to help you actually build a career here in Vermont so you can somewhat afford that housing or afford that Harley Davidson that we all want, snow machines, whatnot.
I said to Raylene the other day, and I don't mean to sound like a broken record because we've said this many times on the air, is that when someone hears, someone listening right now, Associated General Contractors of Vermont, and that they're having a career fair, automatically you kind of default to thinking that this is a career fair for just contractors.
And
Because
it's
of that,
more.
Because of that buzzword in there.
Yeah. Well, so here's what happens, or what happened.
It is not, by the way.
Here's where rebirthed was. There's matter of fact, between now and April 20th, there's 6 different job fairs going on across Vermont. Department of Labor are putting on some smaller ones.
Yeah, we just had one in Barrie.
Within different communities. Very successful, from what I understand. The one of the things that happens at these job fairs is the contractors tend to be pushed to the back. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying.
Isn't that interesting, though?
They tend to be pushed to the back, yet we tend also to be one of the highest paying sectors in the state when it comes to people, employees and whatnot. And we offer a very fluid benefits package and hours to work and whatnot. And so a year ago, we got behind this and said, let's promote the job fair, and let's open it up to everybody, and let's spread it out across a large area. And so at this job fair, you got folks like, the Home Depots, the contractors, the PC construction, the C-Card construction, whatnot. You've got those, but we also have the Blodgett ovens, all these smaller, I don't mean smaller, all these manufacturing plants, manufacturing areas, this very diverse group of employers that are searching for the same thing we're all searching for.
Sure, right.
And
you're matchmaking is what you're doing.
That's really what we're doing. And part of the reason why we shifted the brand from the construction fair or whatnot last year to career fair this year. purposely shifted that brand. It's put on by us and put on by the Department of Labor, but it is truly a very diverse group of employers looking for employees. So it doesn't matter if you want to. We've got law enforcement there. We've got the National Guards coming in.
Communications, hospitality.
We've got it's
Everything.
right across the board, which is unusual in these job fairs. They're generally smaller. They're generally very targeted to the group you're looking for.
Right.
And we just felt it was our duty, our purpose, to try to not only help ourselves, but help the whole Vermont community across the board.
All right, April 20th, and it's at the Champlain Valley Fairgrounds. April 20th.
Well, that's
And you're
pretty
going to
easy to
feed them.
remember.
You're going to feed them.
Yeah, but that's pretty easy to remember, right?
Yes,
Just
420 is
420.
very easy to remember.
420.
Of course.
Okay.
And you purposely did it that way, didn't you? So how much does it cost to get in?
Not a thing, and we're buying people lunch. I just put the order in for 1,500 lunches, hot dog, hamburger, and fries and whatnot. So we've got that going on. We've got people set up to help with your modify or enhance your resume, your interviewing skills. We've got that all going on. We've got,
And frankly, I'm sure you have folks on hand to take that resume and run it through the shredder and start over.
Yes, we can help in all aspects.
Or maybe a burn pit.
With yours.
With
burn pits aren't good to talk about either. Boy, you're right out there today.
Yeah, he always is
burn
right out
barrel.
You're
burn,
wearing a U.S. Army T-shirt, and you're talking about burn pits. That's probably not a good. Why don't I just wear a Teflon T-shirt and talk about PFSs or whatever, PFAS?
Jesus. All right, burn barrel, whatever. Okay. I'm just saying, there's a lot of resumes.
They're illegal too, by the way.
Yeah.
What is it, burn barrel?
Yeah.
Well,
that's a whole agency and natural resource thing. You can't be just burning stuff outside.
In a barrel?
Yeah. Can't do that.
I was going to invite you over this weekend for a couple of
not
beers.
Not that I wouldn't
maybe,
come.
Maybe I won't. No, I'm saying maybe I won't now.
Hey, but so we got that going on. That's pretty big. Yeah. We have, and one of the aspects that people don't always understand, we've got it happening starting tomorrow morning, and we'll do it again mid-May. But we've got a 6-week ELDT CDL training. What I'm talking about is entry-level driver training, CDLs. So you can drive the big trucks, the fuel trucks, the whatever
Hazmat.
it is. Hazmat. We've got that going on for the next 4 weeks, I think it is, 2 days a week. We've got 8 or 10 people in that. We limited it to 10 max, and we'll be running that again. We've got a full training schedule that on one end encompasses all you need to know, say, about the safety world, whether it's in construction or general industry, manufacturing, those areas. And then we're working on soft skills, and we just got done I think it was Kingsbury. We just helped put on a full soft skills thing, everything from communication skills, leadership skills, surveying skills, this whole big piece.
I think that's needed now more than ever.
Yeah, so even it's funny because we're also computer literate.
Right.
I mean, we really are.
Especially you. You have shown me exactly where the space bar is.
I know where that is all the time.
I know. You're amazing.
We're talking about this because I'm flying over here and I'm getting texts and phone calls from Raylene, and I don't know how to answer my phone when I'm driving. That is serious stuff. I'm trying to do this and push buttons and it's not working.
We were just harassing you. We just wanted you to know to come in and take a seat. We just needed to know if there was one or two of you.
And the understanding of and how to use Excel sheets and how to use Word documents and whatnot within your workplace. Because, again, that's a varied piece. And then we're watching companies, groups shift to these data platforms that everybody's got a tablet or they've got the app on their phone and they can fill out their production schedules right there and they can work through that stuff. And so we're doing some training in that and whatnot. But it's our piece in this world, our goal, whatever you want to call it, is it used to be teaching people how to dig holes. It is not any longer. We aren't the contractor or construction group of yesteryear.
Yes, that's so true.
It is looking at that whole person and holistically trying to figure out what it is needed in order to retain you, keep you, or make you a better employee, whether it's for me or for the next guy.
As sponsors of Aired Out, I think that's probably the biggest takeaway that we try, Raylene and I try to push harder than anything else with the Associated General Contractors, is that right there, and you just said it.
Holistic?
Just, there's a... this guy. It's just such a broad spectrum of careers out there, and the word contractors in there, and the word construction, don't think that that's in a box.
Well, what's funny is when you start thinking about a career fair, and you mentioned the contractors are putting it on. Sure, we're putting it on, but contracting is more than a shovel or a hammer.
Right.
Of
course.
And we forget that.
Yeah.
People don't even realize the amount of office staff, the amount of support staff, the amount of maintenance staff, diesel mechanics, this whole piece that we need to operate. And sure, we have shovels and hammers, but the support staff around this is immense. Hence the reason we would put on a career fair that is open to purposely across multi-sectors, the, again, largest career fair in Vermont.
Right.
And if you notice, I'm referring to it as a career fair, and we've branded it and we've worked it to be a career fair out there.
Not a job fair.
Not a job fair, because I'm not looking short term. We are willing on our end to invest in you as an individual, to not only come work with us, but
to stay and grow.
And not just grow. God, I'd love you to learn how to operate an excavator. That would be my life's dream. But growing is more than that. Growing is becoming a better community member, becoming involved in the scouts, the local church, whatever it is, right? You become involved in that stuff as well.
Self-betterment.
Yeah.
And just... and making sure your family is set and you're more secure financially, your health insurance is taken care of, the list goes on. OSHA, I'm guessing that you're on a first-name basis with all those guys.
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
Yeah, sure.
I'm serious. When you can say you're on the first-name basis with OSHA, you know you got problems.
Can we say OSHA and Dick Wobby all in the same sentence? I mean, wow.
And don't forget, in Vermont, it's VOSHA. Back in the early 70s, when OSHA came about, it was actually originated, I believe it was in the 40s, back down in Massachusetts, and then it kind of went across the country. Richard Nixon signed the Occupational Safety and Health Act in December of 1970, I believe it was. And part of that deal was to look out for the safety of the individuals and the workforce and whatnot. And the states were given a choice to either follow the federal mandate, Occupational Safety and Health Act, or create their own. And the only caveat to creating your own was you had to follow as a foundation or a baseline the federal standards out there as well. And So along that line, we had risk back in the 70s and 80s that were different than national risks.
Sure.
National risks, it was more focused in manufacturing and agriculture.
Sure.
Within that context, when you look at Vermont, we have granite sheds, so we had this whole different sort of risk factor out there that they wanted to address here. So Vermont chose to become Vermont Occupational Safety and Health, and they took the federal standards and tweaked them a little bit and put some Vermont standards within it. So, yes, I'm on probably a first name basis with a lot of them.
Raylene was just saying the other day on the air about was it V-Trans that's hiring for bus drivers?
GMT
or GMT. That I mean, they're going crazy. They're trying to find bus drivers. Like,
okay, so now you hop from VOSHA or OSHA to
all over the place.
to DOT or DMV.
I'll go anywhere I want.
Yes, you will. But DMV, when you look at so here's the problem with the CDLs, because I think we have 1,000 CDL operators out there. I think we have them, right? And two things have happened in that world. One is they're all my age, so they're moving away, not by away. They're moving away from that industry. They aren't interested in driving anymore, or they're only interested in driving a couple days a week. So you've got this opportunity today.
Right behind you right now. Yeah,
opportunity today to move into that sector, whether it's bus driving or a fuel truck or transport truck. You have an opportunity. The downside of it is, and what everybody gets caught up in, is that you've got to be able to pass a P test.
Sure,
Okay?
right.
And you got to be able to pass it on a moment's notice.
Yeah.
There's a pre-hire, and then there's a random that's throughout a year. You could get called once or twice for a random test. Well, marijuana or cannabis is still listed as a class 1 drug, which is funny in itself. So it's a class 1 versus cocaine or heroin or whatnot. Those are class 2s, right? They're lower on the spectrum of drugs than marijuana is right now. And I'm probably not explaining this correctly, but Vermont legalized marijuana, but that doesn't exclude you from the drug testing and whatnot, because it's a federal mandate. So you still have to pass a 7-screen drug test in order to maintain your CDL.
You think that'll ever change on a federal level?
Oh, yeah.
Because there's such a demand for drivers and whatnot.
I don't think it's drivers. Let's get away from drivers for a minute. I think your federal drug laws will probably change in the next 18 months. Just the same way, if you look, we went through the same thing during Prohibition. We went through the same thing with alcohol and whatnot. And federally, we came about. Right? And I think we'll do the same thing with cannabis. I'm not sure about some of the other drugs as people talk about them, but I think cannabis is right now at the point it's being looked at the same way as your home brew or your Coors Light or whatever it is you choose. I'm not talking about Anheuser-Busch.
Yeah. I have a friend who is not a smoker. I don't think he's ever smoked marijuana. He doesn't do any drugs. Clean as a whistle. Was taking CBD.
Yes, same deal.
For inflammation. Okay? And, 3% or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
Lost his job as a driver for Land O'Lakes because of that.
Yes.
That sucks.
Well, they're held at a higher standard anyway, even for
Booze.
drinking.
Booze,
if they blow, the number that they're allowed to.
So that's
there's quite a difference.
Yeah. So you can take a 08 on normal driving.
Yeah.
And if you're anything higher than I believe it's a 2 or an O2 or an O4, you're removed from the CDL range for a year. Except if you're only driving your personal vehicle, you fall back to your O8. Except that if you get pulled over O8 or better in your personal vehicle, no CDL, you get 3 months license suspended and everything else. In the CDL world, it's a 1-year suspension, and there's some different aspects that you have to go through to get your CDL back.
On April 20th, for this massive career fair, biggest
10 to 4.
10 to 4.
6 hours.
Okay. The Champlain Valley
Fairgrounds.
150 employers.
Yeah.
Do you have to show up in a three-piece suit?
No, I would actually, and it's funny you're asking that type of stuff. I would dress semi-casually, probably not shorts and a torn shirt, khakis, a nice pair of jeans.
Pineapple flip-flops?
No, probably not pineapple flip-flops. It all depends if you want to get hired or not, right?
Right.
I think I would go in with the idea of this is the sector, and again, I keep talking sectors, so understand when I talk sectors, what I'm talking about is Vermont is divided, whether it's the fuel sector, the hospitality sector,
the political sector.
Yeah, political sector, the state job sector, the construction sector. I would dress accordingly to the way they would dress and try, again, I'm trying to, when I go to a job fair, I'm trying to impress somebody as to not only how I can do the work, but what and I know this is tough, what I look like, and am I worth giving a chance to?
Sure.
Yeah, be presentable.
I would try to look tall.
I
mean, you might have a tough time, but are you standing over there? Or are you sitting?
What, Tick? Isn't it amazing the delicate dance? Isn't it incredible the delicate dance that has to be done between tourism and hospitality, and the season of what's coming into Vermont? I mean, just hospitality alone. Look at our resorts. Look at our hotels. Look at, we're trying to bring people here, not just during the summer, but during the snow machining season too. I mean, it's we need people working.
Boy, have you been up to Burke lately?
I have not been up to Burke.
You should take a ride up to Burke. 2 things in Burke. One, I don't. How long have you lived in Vermont?
90s.
Okay. So, do you remember when Stowe was just starting to be Stowe? I mean, they had half a dozen storefronts downtown. Yeah. It was not the Stowe you see today, right? The Mountain Road was bare. It was what it was, and you rode up, and you might have stopped at the bar on the way up the mountain or on the way down the mountain. Yeah. But it was more small townish. Sure. If you go to Burke today, Burke is where Stowe was in the 90s. I mean, they've got half a dozen nice little downtown things.
I love that general store there on the right coming into Route 5 there coming in.
Okay. How about the smokehouse? Have you ever stopped at the
That's
smokehouse?
across the street, right?
Yes.
Haven't been there.
Okay. Smokehouse is out of this world up there. Yeah.
Haven't been in there.
Okay.
Seen it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I guess my point is, what are you saying though to people that are saying? I'm
saying Vermont is becoming a 4-season destination. It's not just we have lived for years on Lake Champlain, Stowe, Killington, and Sugarbush. That's what we've lived on, and that's either summer or winter, and we get some people that come up and look at the dead leaves falling off trees.
Sure.
Vermont is in the middle of changing that to become that four-season destination.
The snowmobiling and skiing industry alone is so massive. I think snowmobiling is second still to skiing. Skiing's number one.
But you're just looking at the winter, and we're known for winter, right? But we're becoming known for spring. The number of people white plates, blue plates, pink plates, whatever, passing through Vermont over the last 30 days has been immense.
Huge.
If you look at, from the state standpoint, if you look at the tax revenue and whatnot coming in from these hospitality and from the different areas, is just grown immensely. So we are becoming that four-season time frame. They don't come for the fifth season, of course.
No.
The mud season, because nobody wants to put up with that. But it's huge. And that all being said, there is, in the past, I know I bartended, I filled beer coolers and whatnot as a young person when, again, I was young. But that is becoming a career. That's not just a job anymore.
That's right.
That's not just, I'm going to fill in between school.
Right.
That is becoming a career. And these places, resorts, whatnot, we've got some of the, if you look at this, we've got some of the top rated golf courses in the country.
Yes.
I mean, Vermont National, Stowe just finished a great build out. Killington, we've got some of the greatest golf courses around. Sugarbush. Then you turn around and take a look.
Killington. The list goes on. Sorry. Go
Then
ahead.
then you turn around and take a look at, I don't know if you've even experimented with this, but that whole disc golf thing.
Oh, crazy.
Summer or winter.
Huge.
And we've got two of the top 5 rated disc golf courses in the country right now, up there at Fox Run and
Websterville.
That's not rated.
Websterville kicks ass. It's amazing.
Randolph.
Randolph.
So we've got those going on, and you got people coming in for that. You've got one of the largest bodies of water, that's navigable.
Yes.
That's a big word if you could say it for me.
I'm not going to even try.
Well, you can go boating on it very safely. But we've got that. Lake Champlain, Memphremagog. Those things are growing and going crazy. This is, we are really in the middle rebirth. Reshaping the future of Vermont today.
But I've got a comment here that just came in from a friend who doesn't want to post publicly that about workforce development and on about that, and just the notion of, but no one wants to work. So Dick, listen.
Do you really think no one wants to work?
Everyone is talking about we can't find people. That no one wants to work. We have all these jobs. We have to close the restaurant early because no one wants to work. We're just seeing that everywhere. We're seeing that everywhere.
But do you think I think our population?
What's going on with workforce development?
First off, let's look at your high schools. Okay, your high schools and colleges were all built during the 70s and 80s, and my parents had 5 kids. Your parents, how many kids?
2.
2? How many?
3.
3? How many did you have?
2.
How many did you have?
1.
You let me down on 1.
I'm sorry.
I had 2. I let it down by 3. Our population base, if you look at and again, I know I'm getting into the weeds here, but if you take a look at the schools and whatnot, our delivery system into the workforce, our population base has shrunk.
Right.
Now,
Plus
workforce
the
population.
population that has retired and
That's why I'm saying.
Way out. Yeah.
That's why I'm saying workforce population
COVID changed it up, Dick.
Well, it did because you left the workforce. I left I was going to leave the workforce.
I didn't leave the workforce,
and I didn't either.
Right.
But my age group, I was going to leave sometime anyway. That just kind of advanced it by 5 years.
Sure.
So I don't think it's the fact that people don't want to work. I don't think we have the workforce out there.
But
there's not enough
is this
people.
just coincidental that this is post-pandemic?
Yeah, I think it's a couple things. I think one, and I'm going to start a whole flurry on this email thing or texting thing, your insight. One, 5 or 6 years ago, the legislature saw it as a smart thing to register and regulate childcare. They said we're going to register and regulate childcare, and here's what you're going to have.
Right.
Yeah.
What they took out of the mix was the Raylene's or Richard Wobby's, doesn't matter, who was watching 3 or 4 kids. Right? I had no training. I had nothing, but I knew how to take care of kids in my backyard, and I knew how to show them how to color and this and that. And so we lost that. In that process, we overcrowded the child care system, and they can't keep up with it, nor can we. And the cost went up because, again, if you've only got 5 dozen eggs, you can get top dollar for your 5 dozen eggs, right? So we created that.
Costs go up, certification requirements went down.
No, they didn't. They
went up. I'm sorry, they went up.
Right?
They went up with pay.
Correct.
And costs went up,
So,
and then people said,
right.
we can't work because we can't afford daycare.
So if you think about somebody that was making $50,000 a year before, and they had child care, now it's costing them 20 and I don't know these numbers, so don't jump on me, but we're talking 20 or 25 grand a year for child care.
Right.
I'm not sure it's worthwhile for me to work full time, right?
Of course.
And we've got other support mechanisms to help you through this and whatnot. And
plus the pandemic changed up retirement. A lot of people were saying, the hell with this, I'm going to retire early, but then decided, gosh, I'm kind of bored. I think I want to get back into doing something.
Yes.
So there's some of that's going on.
Yes.
Which is
but it's not
residual.
It's not backfilling what we lost.
Right.
We've still lost that group. The other thing is we have a different work ethic. I was at the office at 4 o'clock this morning because I knew I was going to be out for an hour. And no, that's serious, right?
Yeah.
So I went in at 4 so I could get some stuff done before I left, and so that I wasn't sitting here saying, okay, I gotta go. And I don't think we all have that same sort of thought process.
I understand.
But there's nothing wrong with your thought process. I'm just saying.
I know what you're saying, though.
This is the way I deal with it, and we're trying to understand. I mean, when you look at this, is the working from home thing really working? I think it is in some aspects, but not in all.
Yeah.
I think another big thing coming in, and it's one of the sectors we have represented at the job fair, is this whole AI thing. Artificial intelligence piece.
Everyone's talking about it.
Right? I mean, that chat GPT or whatever it is, that's pretty big stuff.
Yeah.
And so
now you can use it to get yourself out of a parking ticket or speeding ticket.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know the website?
You can have a computer. You can have a computer write a letter to the judge and get you out of a speeding ticket or whatever. But it's crazy.
But there's so many open doors out there today, and there's, again, everybody's fighting, pushing for this next generation of worker, and we're just trying to help them be successful within the sector they want to get into, and trying to open their eyes to all the sectors.
Sure. Over Easter weekend, met a young man who's 15 years old. Conversation of, hey, what are you doing this summer? I don't know. What are you gonna? And his mom said, I know what you're going to be doing this summer. You're going to be working. You're going to get a job. And I said, what do you want to do? I don't know. A lot of the younger crowd, it seems like if they do work, they want to be doing something that's, for lack of a better term, glamorous. We need more parents to say, hey, you got to get a job. You might be shoveling shit at a farm. You might be you might be working at McDonald's. You might be working on the in construction. You might be doing some landscaping. You're going to have to actually get out there and sweat and get some dirt under your fingernails.
You're venturing into a world and that we've got to do a generational shift, and people have to be. I had somebody the other day that was talking to me about operating an excavator. We're paying excavator operators $32 an hour and more. And they wanted that job, and I said, have you ever operated an excavator? And no, but I could go to school for that and become an operator. Yeah, you can, but you're still going to start out at the low end of the totem pole. You're going to start out at that $20 range, maybe $18, and it's going to take you 18 to 24 months to get there. When you talk about 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds, you have Department of Labor, child labor laws that kind of restrict what they can bring to the table, other than as you.
I'm just saying, don't sit around all summer playing video games. That's what I'm saying.
That's correct. But I mean, you and other folks, I mentioned earlier, stocking beer coolers, or coolers, sweeping sidewalks, mowing lawns. I mean, we went right across the spectrum so that we could have what we wanted.
We also grew up in a time where schools were different too. When I was in school, we did home ec and DECA and all of these. Yeah. In the younger grades, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, we had these vocational type classes. And then when we went to high school, all of that was still available, and they don't do any of that anymore.
It's a tough, I mean, I'm not blaming it just on education.
No, not at all, but it was there.
It's a tough mix. How do you, so you're limiting the number, and again, look at populations, age of populations and whatnot. Is there enough people in that pot to offer everything? I mean, to offer everything that was offered when we were there. When I graduated from Spalding High School, we had 700 people in our graduating class. Okay, and that was 76. Today, what do you have? 200 people, 300 people graduating from Spalding High School? So you just can't offer everything that was offered back then. And so that's one side. The other side is we didn't have all the distractions. I mean, our distraction was getting chased by Henry Bebo up Main Street in one of our cars.
It's true.
I'm being serious. Les Howe, Henry Bebo, this whole group.
You remember Bebo?
Yeah, we would be down at what is now Lenny's down here. But we would be down there in our cars, and then we'd race up Main Street at like 10 o'clock, and the police knew it, and they'd chase us, and then we'd all get in trouble and brought home and whatnot. But we learned how to work on cars.
You learned by getting your ass paddled,
right? No? And you learned how to work on cars. You learned that you wanted to be able to buy your gas because Dad just told you he's not buying it for you if you're going to do that. You learned stuff.
Yeah.
And we don't have that because I sit at home.
Yeah.
And I'm not being critical. God bless them. They are going to shape tomorrow. They are going to build these computer systems, this AI stuff, this chat GPT, whatever it is. They are going to build it to be bigger and better than we could ever imagine.
Right.
I mean, you started 20 years ago and you had a laptop that was as big as this desk.
Yeah.
Right.
And now that phone that you keep looking at has more stuff in it than that laptop ever imagined.
Do you remember
but it took people to build that. They got out there and they put it together.
Sure. Do you remember how huge the first microwave was?
Yeah.
It was like
It was an oven.
It was a bus.
Yes.
Raylene, we have an 18-year-old intern that's with us a couple days a week. The other day, he goes to Spalding High School. The other day, he was talking about how the trend in schools in Burlington just banned it. The principal there.
Well, that's why we were talking about it.
That's why we were talking about it. Is that students are ordering DoorDash.
Can you even imagine?
To school. So if you want McDonald's and you're in math class, you just use your phone.
Right.
Excuse me, Dr. Wilgorn. I need to go get my Starbucks.
Yeah.
How would that have gone
No,
over?
I know. I mean, but it's today.
I know,
well, that's
but,
what he was saying.
But it shouldn't be.
And here's the thing. Gig jobs. There are so many adults that are making a living off of doing exactly what we just said.
Yeah. DoorDash, food orders, whatnot. But one of the, I come back to this because I know it's a hurdle, and we've got to figure out how to help the hurdle. This whole child care thing is huge.
Yes.
How do we assist people to get them into the workforce so it's affordable for them to go to work,
of course,
and yet still have their children in a safe environment during that time that they're working.
Right.
And is the work week. So there's another one, and I'm watching employers.
Well, we need to start having faith in humanity again and know that the mom next door, if she can take care of her own child, and I know her well enough, she can probably take care of mine without being registered and all of that good stuff.
Yes.
Without getting in big trouble.
Sure.
Yes.
That it's okay if you're going to be a stay-at-home mom and you want to take mine too, because
Right.
I could never be home with a bunch of kids.
You should probably have some basic first aid skills and some CPR certification.
Right, but but
But outside of that,
just
yeah,
it's all
in other countries. They are
don't do that.
They're experimenting with a 4-day work week.
Well, and I think there's a couple things coming down the pike when it comes to a career or a job, however you want to look at it.
Productivity, man.
I think this technology piece is going to help us a great deal, and it's going to expand what we do and how we do it. Sure. That's one side.
Of course.
I think the 3 or 4 day work week, maybe it's 2 days on site or in the office or wherever it is, and 2 or 3 days virtually, and just being available virtually is going to fill that back in. I think you're going to see, and we're already seeing it in cities in different areas, the instant pay, where at the end of an 8-hour shift, you automatically get paid for that day.
Wow.
And it's all, again, tech driven, but
wow.
but you're getting paid for the time you put in right then.
Right. All you have to
I
do
don't
is
like
just,
that idea.
all you have to do is just scan your wrist where you have your chip
That's correct.
under your skin.
But I'm not sure I like it either.
Yeah.
Because part of the incentive...
not during an opioid crisis.
Yeah.
Instant pay is not a good thing for me.
But that's what you're seeing, some of the shifts in the workforce, where we would work all week to get paid on Thursday or Friday, and today you have companies offering the 8-hour shift or whatever it is,
or go in earlier, take a 2-hour lunch siesta, and then come back and work the second half of the day.
Oh,
you're seeing a lot of this.
And also, Dick, go to bed earlier. Go to bed earlier. Don't stay up till 11 o'clock watching Say Yes to the Dress and Bachelor, which is one of your favorite shows. Go to bed earlier and get up earlier and be more productive during your day.
See, I'm not a good one to talk about that.
Because you love because you love Survivor and you love...
No, I'm not a
goes to bed
TV
at
watcher.
7.
I am not a TV... No, I really don't. But I'm not a TV watcher. Okay, so here's another thing I think we're missing. And God, we're trying to solve a lot of problems. All I wanted to do is talk about a job fair. But I'm not a TV watcher. I'm a reader.
Yeah.
And I spend endless hours reading. And I don't read novels. I don't read books per se. I read the leadership manual. I read Forbes magazine, Bloomberg magazine. I read all these things that try to help better prepare you for tomorrow.
Sure.
The other side of it, and everybody will tell you, is that I survive on about 4 hours of sleep a night.
See, it is. See,
Yeah.
I'm not the only one.
It's just my body has just gotten there, and I do that. So, and part of the reason I do that is I can't imagine losing 2 or 3 hours a day.
Yeah.
Okay, and it just, that's one of those pieces.
Yeah.
I know and hang out with a lot of people that need 8 hours of sleep. They need it to be productive the next day, and I just have never. It's just a different cycle for me.
And one of the final questions I want to ask here is:
Does that mean we're closing up?
Well, we're going to close
I've still
up.
got a bunch of stuff I want to talk to.
Well, of course we are. But one of the questions I wanted to ask is, has Dick Wobby ever been seen without a cup of coffee in his hand? Ever?
Yeah, but the coffee goes back to something.
Go ahead.
Coffee goes back to COVID. Because I was doing programs for about 300 people. We were doing live broadcasts 3 days a week.
Yeah, that's right.
And a local
can
company.
you show the inside of your cup right here into the camera? Here.
It's not good to see. It's empty.
Put
it's
that
dirty.
Right there. There we go. All right.
Okay.
See? And this
It's
is
dirty.
mine. And these are mine. And Raylene makes fun of me all the time. And I've
They're
just about had enough of that.
Stained.
It's not a big
But-
deal.
But we were doing this, and a local company called me up and said, "Could you hold our cups?" We noticed you're holding a Cumberland Farms cup, and could you hold our cups?
I think that's friggin' awesome.
And it seemed like a great marketing tool to me.
Of course it is.
If they were smart enough to do it and good enough to ask, and what's happened is I told you I read a lot.
Yeah.
I look at this betterment stuff.
Sure, yeah.
And every one of these things talks about everybody needing a security blanket. People that are facing public constantly. I do speaking things all over the place, not just Vermont, but all over the place, and they need a Linus blanket. What's that? Security blanket.
Security blanket.
They need
Sure.
one.
Yeah.
And they all have them.
Yeah.
And I don't care if you're Ron White and you got your crystal glass with
Your scotch in
yeah.
it.
scotch in it,
Right.
or your what's his name, Black.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying.
You know who I'm talking to. He's a comedian, but
Yeah.
he's got a cigarette going all the time, right? I mean, all these guys. My just security blanket,
It's
believe it
your
or not, is that cup, and I
Yeah.
I reach for it and drink from it, as you've seen me do several times today.
Yeah.
I reach for it and drink from it, whether it's full or
Yeah.
not. But it's really big. The job fair.
Yeah.
And it's
April 20th. What day of the week is that, by the
20th.
way?
It's a Thursday.
Okay.
We are setting up on Wednesday. We've got a full array of outdoor, I'll call practical or hands-on pieces. We've got indoor booths and interview spaces and whatnot.
Free
going
for the
on.
public. Absolutely
It's free.
free.
We're buying lunch for everybody that comes.
10 a.m.
There's not another job fair in Vermont that offers free lunch. You think about that.
Not surprised.
Okay.
10 to 4. 10 to 4.
10 to 4.
at the Champlain Valley
Fairgrounds.
If you don't have a resume, don't worry about it.
Yeah, the other piece is if you don't have a resume, we have out on VermontCareerFair.com. We have outlines, and we've made you got to go out there because you can
put that in the comments here.
You can watch this. We have videos that we've put together to help you get hired. We've put videos together to help you and outlines to help you build a successful resume. Because really, this is the time that you're selling yourself.
That's right.
And you want to be able to get the best return possible on selling yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
That's huge.
What else do we need to know about this? The biggest, the largest,
and the best.
Well,
career fair.
I say it's the best, and we're saying that because not only is it huge, it's huge when you think about it, and it's covering companies statewide as well as local. But not only is that, it's huge in the sense that it's multi-sector, and I hate using that word multi-sector because it feels so offish, but it doesn't matter whether you're in tourism, you want to get into a restaurant job, you want to become a bookkeeper, you want to grab a shovel, you want to build an oven, I mean, doesn't matter.
Sure.
We've got everybody there.
Yeah.
It's big. So that's
and
my 2
huge
cents.
because of the support they give you leading up to it.
Yeah.
I mean, as he
Right.
said, there's so much stuff on there, and we've been posting the links, and hopefully many have watched them, and yeah.
And again, I see this thing keep coming up on dress. Dress as if you want the job. I don't care what it is. You don't need a suit. You don't need a tie. A clean shirt, a pair of jeans, or chinos, or whatever. I don't know what people call those anymore.
You're showing your age,
They
Dick
call them
Wobby. I'm
Carhartts
just
now.
saying.
They call them Carhartts now. Khaki Carhartts.
Chinos? I haven't heard chinos
So-
forever.
So this is even better. So I ride a bicycle quite often, and my wife bought me these kind of loose-fitting cycling pants, and they're insulated because I ride in the winter.
Yeah.
And yesterday morning, she asked me to run up to Shaw's to pick something up, and so I had my sweats or whatever you want to call those riding things
Pants,
on, and a jacket, and I went up to Shaw's and.
Not the fluorescent pink spandex ones.
No. These are like sweatpants. I call them sweatpants, but they're more fitted than sweatpants. But anyway, I walked through Shaw's, and I'm not being critical of anybody. I walked through Shaw's and got back home, and I said, I'm not going to turn into one of those. And Lauren said, what do you mean? That's Mrs. Wobby's name, by the way, Lauren. Okay. Lauren said, what do you mean? And I said, I'm not going to be the guy that runs around 24/7 with sweatpants. I'm just not friggin' doing it. And a windbreaker. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay? I think those are an overused piece of apparel.
So when you go out grocery shopping, you're not going to be wearing your SpongeBob SquarePants pajamas.
No. Okay. No, but have you noticed? So what happened to airplane flights? Have you guys flown lately? Any place?
Not in a year.
No? Oh, my God. People are wearing their pajamas, their sweatpants, their friggin' oversized shorts. Man, put a pair of pants on and a friggin' shirt. If you're flying, make it something worth doing. You and your blasted... Oh!
Yeah. If you're doing anything, I'm a jerk about that too. I ride our intern's ass pretty good and tell him.
Yeah.
I'm pretty he probably thinks, who is this?
He probably
chick
does.
That rides my ass about getting a job, combing my hair, not wearing my
This
pajama
old lady
bottoms.
in there that's
Yeah. Coming here prepared, and this isn't shits and giggles per se. You're doing this for a class, and I want you to
this whole reality thing, whatever you want to call it, our lives, we've become so lackadaisical of everything.
Sure.
I mean, it's
I know what you're
take pride in yourself.
Yeah, that's huge. Of course, my wife gets upset because I'm 24/7 in jeans, and Mrs. Wobby would like to see me in something other than jeans. Chinos. She would like to see me in chinos.
You don't say like charge card anymore, do you, Dick? You don't say charge card.
No, I say CC.
Oh, you say all right, cool. All right. Just making sure. So when can Raylene and I come in? We'd like to stop by and,
Stop by where?
Over at Associated General Contractors of Vermont.
What do you want to do? You want to do a show down there?
No,
yes, that's what. Yes, he does.
Yes, and honestly, I want to try to get you back. I want to take that opportunity to get you back.
Okay, so
for when you pulled me into one of the classes and humiliated me in front.
Hey, that was funny though. But that's what we do.
Funny for you.
Yeah, but that's what we do, and meaning not just the construction sector. We're serving multi-sectors down there in that facility.
Sure.
Whether it's driver training, the fuel dealers, the electricians. The plumbers, the builders, we're doing. I said office workers. I mean, right across the board, and it's not just geared towards just the contractors.
Sure. As
Northfield Savings Bank likes to say, we serve the builders, the doers, and the makers.
Yeah,
we do that. Right, and the part of it is because we are like looking at the brainiacs. I don't know if you.
Yeah, I know. I'm familiar with the
brainiac
word.
is.
Yeah, I'm familiar with
the
word. Sure. When I hear the word brainiac,
a very intelligent person, right?
I think of you.
Yeah, it's because I read.
Give us the full definition.
It's just a very intelligent
person. Just off the top of your head. Just off the
top of your
head.
Very intelligent person. Okay?
Yeah.
All of the brainiacs in the area would converge at the pub on Monday evenings for the weekly trivia contest.
Yeah.
But that's not the definition. What the hell does this have to do?
It's a perfect
this
use
is
of
from
the
like
sentence.
February 6th.
It's a perfect
guy
of 1974. No.
Okay. What else do you got? Did you know coming to a restaurant near you?
Yes.
Is there are companies out there working hard to create lab-grown. What are we talking about here? I'm not going to read that, but I do want to say, JD and Raylene, thank you for your continuous support of all things Stevens Squad and the American Fund. This is huge.
Yes, it is.
I want you to be serious. American Foundation for Suicide Prevention this year, their team raised $6,500.
That was last year, but we're doing it right now this year.
What's going on and how you've done this, and the Burlington Walk is going on, and the Vermont total raised last year was $120,000 for suicide awareness and prevention, and they're super excited to tell you that we'll be starting the Stephen M. Tracy II Memorial Foundation in January, a couple months ago, to support youth in our community. That is big stuff.
Sure, of course it is.
And then, if you remember Karina Bedell, who's, again...
Fighting the fight.
Oh, my God. Imagine going through this 3 times. Breast cancer. And they're having the big Bikers 15th annual Bikers for Beth Noezel Hemingway memorial ride. Remember, she passed away about 13 years ago. And Karina, hopefully, will be able to help out and do something. You can kickoff party is May 20th. That's 520.
Yeah.
Yeah.
520.
Yeah.
Right.
420 and 520.
Yeah. Are you going to be there?
Easy for you to remember.
We have.
You going to be there with your bicycle?
420 and 520. My bicycle, I do have a motorcycle
do you have
as
a motorcycle?
well. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm cool.
I think that's great.
I'm pretty cool. Okay? I mean, cool people.
Listen, you sit here long enough, we'll throw everything we have at you.
And remember, you
But
don't
be
have
careful because JD sometimes will have things that already happened.
Yeah, and don't forget,
No,
dirty.
Raylene.
Hold
Really?
on, I'm in the middle of this. Don't forget, Dirty Looks is the music playing, and you don't have to ride to attend. You can come down. It's Metro Way across from Gusto's, and it'll be a pretty good party that day.
And our presenting sponsor, Gustos, is the host. We'll be providing all of the venue, the food, all that great stuff.
And then remember, starting this week, Wednesday, we have mindfulness-based stress reduction, and this goes hands in hand. Hold on, because I'm going to mix this up a little bit, but we have a very high rate of overdoses and suicides. Not only across Vermont, but across the country, and part of it is the stressors and whatnot that people are feeling, and part of those stressors are induced based on this lifestyle we're leading, where it is sitting in front of a keyboard or sitting in front of a thing. So we have those folks mindfulness-based stress reduction being put on starting April 13th through June 8th on Thursdays from 6 to 8 down at Suite 101 on Main Street in Montpelier. And it's an 8-week program to learn how stress impacts the body and different practices to help you through those stresses and how to build resilience along those ways. Also, probably I should go to improve my sleep, but we wouldn't do that.
Somewhere, there's a massage therapist that is looking right now at this camera saying, God, I hope Dick Wobby doesn't come in and I have to give him a massage.
But I did. I didn't come up for all this other stuff.
Thank you.
I really, I hope we didn't go too far offline. 420, it is April 20th. It is huge job fair, huge opportunities, huge ability to restart your life, to build a career that is successful and well-meaning here in the state of Vermont with one of our many supportive groups or companies, employers.
What will you be wearing so that people can recognize you so that if they're there on the 20th, they can walk up and say thank you for all your hard work, you and Rachael putting this on? What will you be wearing? How will we recognize you?
I wasn't going.
You're not going?
No, I didn't think I wanted to go. I got a pretty good job right now, and I've built my career. I'm looking on 421. We're going to be running the retirement fair. Just flip it all over. No,
Thank
be
you,
my
Dick.
normal stuff. Generally, one of them high vis green vests. Right. So. No, thank you guys. You guys do an unbelievable job here. I'm a little disappointed in the fact that you have all these unopened bags of Jenna's Promise roasting.
They're empty. Some of them
thank you.
Gotten into.
Thank you.
But we have just a couple of new ones
that are resealed to make me believe they were full.
Right.
I was just in touch with...
I was wondering why I haven't been offered a cup of coffee.
I was just in touch with Greg.
We were already live.
Greg's going to be coming in here.
Yes.
He's coming in soon.
Gregory?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they've done...
Maybe Daniel.
There's another one you want to take a look at on our... at VermontCareerFair.com is Greg and I had a great conversation about how to get through some of these stressors and how Jenna's Promise is helping a large group of people to reintegrate into the workforce and become productive again.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
We love having you as a sponsor. Thank you, Dick.
Thank you. We will set up something when you're so let's just say this. By the end of April, I will be through this thing I call my life, and we will be starting on another chapter, meaning things will slow down and we'll be able to spend some time together.
All right.
And I would love to have you come down to the shop and do a show there, and maybe we could look at having some different influencers pass through.
I would love to
That
do
would
that.
be great.
And I would love to. I would love to take you up on your offer to have me do some bungee jumping off of one of the cranes.
Yeah, no,
that
we'll do
is a
that.
fantastic idea.
Yeah,
Can't wait.
I think that would be funny
Right off
as
the
all
ankles.
get out.
Me too.
Okay.
Can we do how to do it and how not to do it? You know, one without
Yes.
mats, one
Yes.
with. Okay.
Thanks, Dick.
Thank you. Have a good day.